Hey, what's up, guys? It's Andrew from travelingguitarist.com. Today I'm going to explain 7 different reasons why playing the guitar, or rather learning to play the guitar, is not that hard. Um, these are 7 reasons I just kind of came up with. So let's just get right into it. I would say the first one, the number one reason why it's not too difficult to learn is because, if you actually like the instrument and you like what you're doing, it's just not much of a challenge. When I first started playing, I played a lot of Nirvana songs. However, the band that really got me into playing a lot was Metallica, and at that point, I enjoyed playing those songs so much that I would play for maybe 3 or 4 hours, just like the same riffs, the same solos over and over again, and it just wasn't much of a challenge. Honestly, it was a lot of fun, and I used or rather I invested so many hours into the instrument, and it just wasn't much of a big deal. Um, so if you find yourself not actually enjoying playing the instrument, then maybe it's not for you. You have to actually enjoy what you're doing in order to continue doing it at least at a high level. The second reason why it's not that hard is that this is one that I felt is kind of weird to mention, but I also think it's true. But a lot of people they get uh, they get weirded out about finger pain and calluses. When I've talked to a lot of people about playing the guitar and they say, "Oh, I quit because my fingers hurt," and the calluses are building up in my finger. And I hadn't thought about that in so long because that's just something that's a part of it's a part of your body's acclimation process to the stress that you're putting it under every day. It's the same thing as going to the gym where, um, if you go to the gym every day, you feel sore for a month, and then after a while, you don't really feel fatigued at all. Like it's just a part of what you do. It's no longer like a chore. It's something that you have to do. In fact, people that are going all the time, in my case, for example, like if I don't go to the gym, I feel worse. I need to go, and it's the same thing with the guitar. The finger pain and the calluses. That's just something that you're going to build up. After 2 weeks to 4 weeks, you're going to have those calluses on your fingers, and then you're not going to think about it ever again. You know. It's worth mentioning that if let's say you're first starting out, you're in your first month of playing, and your fingers get super sore, just give it, 2 days. 2 days, wait for your fingers to build up those calluses, and then just get right back to it, and you should be good to go. Another reason why it's not that hard to learn anymore is because of the internet. I mean, the internet has filled with all kinds of useful lessons and tutorials and guides and blogs, and there's just so many resources available in 2020 that it's insane. In fact, it's insane to me that people think that we're in this kind of state of peril right now in modern culture, yet we have the internet, which is basically like God's brain. You can just Google, "Hey, God's brain, what's the A minor 7 flat 5 in inverted position?" You can just have any information at your fingertips right away. Obviously, there's some issues with like these big tech companies doing evil things, but that's beside the point. Another reason why it's not that hard is because it's really not that physically demanding. It's not like Muay Thai. I used to do Muay Thai a few years ago, and that's physically demanding. Like you get injured. There's all kinds of unexplained injuries that you never thought that you would get. For instance, I would get shin splints like crazy, and I had no idea how to combat that. And I wasn't used to it. I didn't even think it was normal. Like I thought at that time, I didn't understand that injuries were a part of sports. Like if you're not willing to tolerate an injury, in fact, there's always an injury that you have. They're always injured. They're never running at 100%, especially professional athletes. So if you're not willing to deal with that injury, then maybe it's not for you. Well, thankfully, guitar isn't like that. There's no physical injuries unless you're on stage and you fall off or something like that. I think that maybe the biggest injury I've ever had from playing guitar is plucking my fingers against the strings poking out of the tuning post. So I mean, other than that, there's not too much to worry about. Number 5, we have YouTube now. This is kind of related to the internet one, but I think YouTube is worth mentioning on its own because YouTube is tremendous. Like we got all kinds of great content and teachers and instructors and super valuable people who are offering their insights on, think of someone like Rick Beato. I don't know if you've heard of him before, but Rick Beato, he's got like maybe 2 million subscribers now, I think, something close to that. maybe 1 million. And I don't know, he's just like a fountain of knowledge, and his videos are very, very useful and very kind of inspiring too. Like anytime he explains a music theory concept, I always practice it, and I immediately kind of, I just feel inspired to play whenever I watch his videos. Also, check out Signal's Music Studio and Ben Eller. These are great channels too for music theory and guitar playing. There's all kinds of good stuff on YouTube, and it's definitely worth checking out. Um, the next one is the evolution of the digital audio workstation. So this is probably my biggest regret when it comes to playing guitar, because GarageBand came out in 2004, created by Logic, which I guess Apple purchased. They purchased their parent company, which is called eMusic or something. But GarageBand is dope. It's basically democratized music making in a sense, because now the only thing you really need to buy to record your setup is like an audio interface, maybe a mic, and you can get started right away and just start recording your guitar and making all kinds of sophisticated music with this digital workstation. I didn't get into it until a couple years ago, and I regret that. I should have started right away, because I would have been a lot further along in terms of where I'm at now. So it's kind of makes me a bit sad, but I'm just, on the other hand, I'm thankful that I even got into it, and I'm even alive at a time when we have access to something like this. And finally, number 7, tablature. Tablature makes learning how to play the guitar super simple. And not only that, but we have sites like ultimateguitar.com where you can you can look up any song that you would want to play, and there's probably tabs for it. And I mean, if you have Guitar Pro, which you can download, also a dope software. In fact, that should have been another number on this list. But Guitar Pro, you know, it has the tablature played out for you along with the modern staff notation, and then it plays it. You can slow down the BPM, and it's just amazing. You know, it's amazing what we have access to now. So I mean, if you're want to learn how to play, I mean, there's so many resources available to you that there's just really no excuse. You know, like even 15 years ago when I started, there was no YouTube when I started playing the guitar. Whenever I wanted to learn how to play a song, I had to go buy these books. You had to pay $20 to $40 for an actual physical book that had some guy's interpretation of what the songs were. It wasn't until like the mid 2000s, from what I understand, that these guitar tabs started proliferating on a big level. However, looking back on that, there were tabs a long time ago, but I just never really discovered them until later. Um, but yeah, you know, the internet was just in its infancy stage in the late 90s and early 2000s. But now, I mean, it's gangster, man. We got everything. We got everything you could ever possibly want. But yeah, that's all for this video. Just wanted to run through those 7 reasons why it's not that hard, in case you're feeling like it's some kind of incredible daunting task that's insurmountable and you're not going to be able to get through it. But it isn't. It's all good. You'll figure it out. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.